Today's Bible passage is going to catch some of you by surprise, not only because it's really short, but more because of what the author actually says. Listen to this, 1 Timothy 4, verse 7. The Bible says, "But reject profane and old wives' fables, and exercise yourself rather to godliness." Now, at first glance, it really doesn't tell you anything you didn't already know, does it? Essentially, it says that it's better to live a godly, principled life than to spend your time listening to other people's silly stories and half-baked remedies for our problems. Which happens to be pretty good advice in a time when any half-wit with a keyboard and a mouse can publish just about any sort of gobbledygook he wants on the internet. But aside from the mention of pointless stories, Paul says something else that's really important, and I hope you caught it. He says, exercise yourself toward godliness. You see, godly living isn't just something you kind of drift into by accident. It's something that takes time, effort, and real dedication. And of course, I know that to some people that's going to sound like salvation by works, so let me be very clear. This has nothing to do with the price that was paid for your salvation. That was paid by Christ, and you can't add to it or even chip in. But past that point, once you've been forgiven and you've received the gift of salvation, there's still the Christian life to live. You don't just go on living the same life you lived before, because the Bible is crystal clear that Jesus changes you. And even though Christ also offers the new life to you as a gift, it is going to take some effort on your part to grow as a Christian. That's why Paul writes, exercise yourself towards godliness. In the original Greek language, that word exercise is actually gunazo, which is where we get our word for gymnasium. But in the original language, it actually has a special meaning because young men in ancient Greece used to train in the nude. And not just because it was hot and they didn't have any air conditioning. They stripped down to nothing because they didn't want to be wearing anything that might cost them a race. Kind of like a swimmer streamlining his body for the swimming pool. The point of this whole passage is this: you don't grow as a Christian by default. It takes real discipline and commitment on your part and a willingness to get rid of anything that might keep you from winning. In the book of Hebrews, Paul says, "Let us lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily ensnares us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us." The lesson is so simple. Take a personal moral inventory, a really honest one, and do it on a regular basis. You know what your objectives are and what your hopes and dreams as a Christian are, so shed all the stuff in life that doesn't matter. Get rid of it. Life's too short to let anything stand in your way. Just take a look at the people who achieve the most in life and you'll notice something they all seem to have in common. They have determination and discipline. And by the peaceful smiles on their faces when they cross life's finish line, you just know that godly discipline is a better way to live.